All right, let's see what happens with the stream now. All right. Let's see. All right. See if anybody shows up. Says I have an excellent condition. I have never tried to stream before, so this is my first stream. We're gonna see how this turns out. But all right, guys, I'm here to talk about anything DC Fandome. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to know anything about my thoughts about the DC Fandome, please chime in and do a chat. This is just a last-minute thing. I'm just seeing how streaming works. I've never streamed before, so I plan on doing streams probably, I don't know, maybe once a week. I may pick Sundays to do that, but it depends on if I can get anybody to come onto the stream. All right. There's nobody here now. I want to see how this actually stream is healthy. All right. It says everything is good. Let's see. Is anybody going to come on? Let's talk about the DC Fandome. Well, nobody's here. This is disappointing. I was hoping there'd be some people here. All right, this is the first time I've ever tried to stream anything, so I'm curious as to how this is going to turn out. Yeah, it says I've got a pretty strong connection, but the frames aren't very good. Somebody's at the front door. Let's turn this stuff off. All right, not sure why I can't get higher frames, but at least it is streaming. That's what happens with a 7-year-old computer. Is anybody on? Says the stream is healthy. Let's do the analytics. All right, I'm just going to give it 5 more minutes here, and we'll see if anybody ends up coming on. I'm just looking to see if anybody will pop on. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing maybe some DC live chats. Maybe, yeah, I'm hoping it's working. You tell me. Can you hear and see me okay? I don't know. I'm working on a 2014 MacBook Pro, and for some reason I cannot get it to spit out enough frames. I can record high-def video when doing my normal videos, but for some reason with the streaming, I don't know if this computer is handling it or not. So we got one person on. Film Goblin. So far. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm not getting the best frame rate, but I'm here to find out. I'm only going to stick around for maybe 5 minutes. We'll see if anybody hops on, but I'm willing to discuss anything DC Fandome related. So I want to see what your guys' thoughts were. Did you see the DC Fandome? And what were your guys' thoughts? I thought it was pretty underwhelming. If you've seen my latest video, I was very disappointed with it. It was pretty much the exact same thing as last year. They did have some good behind the scenes. Yeah, it was very underwhelming. It was a waste of time. I'm glad I wasn't around to watch it yesterday. It was my daughter's wedding, and I didn't have a chance to watch it. So till after the fact. I watched half of it before and then the other half after, and I did not miss anything. I think the only thing I was excited for was the Caped Crusader, the new Batman animated show that they'll be coming out with. That I'm looking forward to. But again, that's something that was actually talked about last year. Yeah, exactly. There was absolutely nothing related to the things people wanted to see. They didn't even talk Wonder Woman. So there was not only no Cavill Superman, no Ben Affleck, there was no Snyder, no Ayer, none of that. And I think that has to do with, like I said, I think it has to do, the wedding. First of all, yeah, the wedding was awesome. Everyone had an amazing time. It was my second daughter to get married this year, and it was pretty crazy. I'm glad it's over. 2 in 1 year was too much. So it just was, but it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people show up. It was at a nice venue. Maybe I'll show pictures one day in one of my videos. Yeah, well, exactly. It was the same thing. I don't know what it is with them. It was almost a Xerox copy of the DC Fandome from last year. There was nothing new. I mean, even the Caped Crusader and the Superman cartoon that's coming out, all of that was announced last year. There was nothing new. And anything that was new, like Peacemaker, everyone knew about that before the DC Fandome. Yeah, Wonder Woman. They need to do it. And I don't think anything. Now, I didn't see everything, and I don't think there was anything mentioned about Green Lantern. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was no real talk about Superman other than the Superman show that's on the CW already. We've got, they talked about Supergirl ending, which I haven't watched in 3 years. I couldn't stand the politics of the show. And then you've got, the Batman trailer was, I was actually surprised. I am looking forward to the movie. I am a Batman fanatic. But I kind of wish, I really wish The Flash was coming out first before the Batman movie, because I want to see how The Flash is going to end up before I commit to going to see the Batman. But, well, The Flash really wasn't a trailer. That was just a behind-the-scenes thing. I'll tell you what I did find interesting about the Flash, the little Flash behind-the-scenes look there was when they showed the final shot of him in the Batcave and, Michael Keaton stands up. You clearly saw Supergirl in the back. You saw Barry Allen, the current iteration, and then off to the side you saw another guy who looked just like him with the same costume on. But what was interesting is he had longer hair that we haven't seen him wear in any of the movies that have happened so far. The only time we saw the Flash with long hair was in Batman vs. Superman when they showed the clip of Barry Allen that Lex had grabbed, from who knows where. And then it was funny because Barry Allen told Bruce Wayne when he went to go see him that it's a guy who looks just like him, but it wasn't him. And he may have been telling the truth, which I found to be interesting because he looks just like the guy in the video. Yeah, I kind of figured, well, that's what I talked about. The Dark Knight kind of chimes in here. He says, I knew Warner Brothers wouldn't have any big announcements that we didn't already know because they have to wait until after the merger closes with Discovery. Yeah, and that was kind of my thought as well. A lot of people are up in arms saying the Snyderverse is dead. I don't think the Snyderverse is going to be dead. I think they're going to continue with it. And I mean, this is why I've talked about this in past videos too. It's why we have Henry Cavill being quiet. We have Ben Affleck being pretty quiet. The only thing Ben Affleck has said is that he had a really fun time playing Batman in The Flash, which gives me hope that he will stick around. But yeah, Michael Keaton I don't know if he'll wear the Batman Beyond suit. And honestly, he came out, actually Michael Keaton came out and said he will not be wearing the Batman costume after this movie. He will not be putting on any costumes. So I think this is going to be a one-and-done thing for him. They were talking about maybe having him come in and do a Batman Beyond type movie. I don't think that's going to happen personally. But you never know. You never know. We're not going to know anything until that merger. The merger is going to be the big linchpin here for everything going forward. It looks like we got 3 people on right now. I will stick around for a few more minutes. Let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking about doing a live stream every Sunday to talk about all things DC with people who would like to come and chime in. And if you haven't visited my channel before, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. I do DC updates on all of the things going around the DC live action stuff about once a week, sometimes twice a week. I will definitely be doing more content as more stuff comes out and we get closer and we can have bigger discussions on things that are happening in the DCEU. But I love DC. I will tell you, after some of the stuff they mentioned at the comic, or not the, I almost said Comic-Con, at the Fandome yesterday, I'm about ready to just stop buying comics in general. Looks like they're pandering too much. I wouldn't say DC feels stagnant. It only feels that way because the merger hasn't occurred yet. So, yeah, well, there's nothing moving forward. They can't announce anything because of, like I said, the merger is going to be the thing where they'll be able to talk about more stuff. Well, no, because, well, they haven't announced. If you really think about it, they didn't even announce a Joker 2, and they're not going to. There will be, I can tell you right now, there's going to be no big announcements on any movies until the merger is complete. Anything that they haven't agreed to, anything going forward is going to fall under the merger. So if anything big is announced, I think it is going to be handled by Discovery. I don't think any of this is going to be handled by Warner Brothers anymore, period. I think Warner Brothers has washed their hands of it, and I really hope Ann Chernoff and Walter Hamada, I hope they do go bye-bye. And I hope that we get, well, I can't wait to see who the new leadership is going to be. Jason Kilar has been strangely quiet about everything, but he might, nobody really knows what happened behind the scenes, who was in charge and made sure that the Snyder Cut happened. We heard that Jason Kilar was a big part of that. Yeah, Toby Emmerich needs to go as well, and I think the writing's on the wall for him. He's been shopping around for a while, so they actually tried to pawn him off already, so I think the writing's on the wall. I really hope those people disappear. I really do. I'm really looking forward to the merger. I think they're doing what needs to be done, and they're definitely listening to the fans. If the president of Discovery is being honest, then good things are going to happen after that merger. But yeah, the Warner Brother UK leadership should take over. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't know anything about the UK leadership with Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers has washed their hands of it. It is now definitely going over to Discovery. So they didn't even mention this at the Fandome yesterday. So yesterday, and I told people this was going to happen possibly beforehand, and I remember last year being disappointed with the DC Fandome because nothing new was announced last year other than the Snyder Cut, which everyone knew was coming prior to, but everything that they talked about was already in production, and because of COVID, the same thing is going on now. It's all the same stuff that was announced last year and talked about the year before. There were no bombshell announcements last year and no bombshell announcements this year. Next year will be different. I can all but guarantee it, if they even do a DC Fandome next year. Yeah, well, I think Hamada is going to be on his way out too. He wouldn't be there. There's no reason for him to be there. The leadership is changing. He may or may not have a role in that, but he's definitely not going to be the president because they already got the... They've already, yeah. I hope he knows. I don't know. The leadership behind all of this has been terrible for a while. Yeah. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to leave this video up. It is my first stream. I've never done a stream before. So I know the frame rate's not that great. I am working off of a 7-year-old MacBook Pro. It is a i7 processor, though, but I'm thinking about getting one of the new M1 chips soon because of the content I've been doing. And I don't know. I could use 4K video and 1080p video on my computer just fine, but the stream just does not want to keep up with the frame rate. But my computer is definitely capable of handling it. I can tell you that. And my internet speeds are just fine as well, so I'm not sure what the deal is. But I'm glad you guys, you guys that are here, I do appreciate it. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I will be talking about all things DC going forward. Yeah, it was funny when they did mention about the Flash that they didn't talk about more. They definitely have enough. From what I hear, they're done filming. They should have enough material. It takes 3 to 4 months to do a movie. They should have enough material to definitely show more, but they're not going to show more. I think that is the last of the films that is going to get released next year, if I'm not mistaken. Well, actually, no. I think isn't Aquaman? I think they said Aquaman is going to be in November or possibly December of next year, if I remember right. So I'm not sure. I think The Flash is going to be in the summer, if I'm not mistaken. No. The Flash is coming out next year. Yeah, it is not 2023. The Flash is definitely coming out next year. I believe it's in July. I believe it is coming out in July of next year. And then I do know Aquaman is in December of next year. So there are 3 big films getting released next year. But like I said, there's no announcements of anything big after that. Well, I think because it leaked, there was a direct shot. So what happened with the interview? So the Dork Knight 23 says, what happened with the interview that was leaked earlier this year? I thought that was supposed to be the Flash Fandome panel. Yeah, we don't know what that actually was. The Fandome panel, those stills, here's what I will tell you. Those stills did come from the production, because if you watched the little teaser for The Flash yesterday, it actually showed there's a scene where Barry was there with the new costume in the Batcave, and it was a direct thing from one of the stills that they showed during that supposed leaked Fandome panel. They may have scrapped it, because it leaked, for all we know. They did not show much on The Flash at all. Like I said, if you've watched my latest video, they spent a lot of time, 15 minutes on Milestone. They spent 15 minutes on Peacemaker. Yeah, Film Goblin says the Peacemaker series won't last long. Yeah, they spent 15 minutes on that yesterday. And who asked for that show in the first place? This shows you how they're more interested, Warner Brothers at least, was more interested in doing these off-brand stuff than giving us the core characters. I mean, we haven't seen anything of Hal Jordan since we had the Green Lantern movie, 7 or 8 years ago. And I got to tell you, I actually liked Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern. He was not the problem with that movie, and I'd like to see him come back. I would. I don't think they need to rehash the origin story for that. I thought the origin was told well enough. Obviously, the rest of the movie was questionable, but Ryan Reynolds was fine in the role. I would hope that he would come back. But as far as Peacemaker goes, nobody asked for that. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see if it's any good. But, I mean, if they're just going to sit there and make, gratuitous jokes on body parts and, farts and all kinds of other stuff and saying the F word 50,000 times, I'm not going to be interested in it. Vineeth says, I thought there would be an update on the Ayer cut. Not anymore. I think it was earlier in the stream I talked about how nothing new can be announced until that merger takes place. So there were no new announcements on any new properties at all yesterday. And that's why we didn't get anything on the Ayer cut. It is done, but all that stuff is now owned by Discovery. And Discovery has come out and said they have a plan. They know exactly what they're going to do from day one. So that plan's either going to be good for all of us or really bad for all of us. It's going to be one or the other. Yeah, as far as I know, the Green Lantern Corps series is still supposed to be planned with HBO Max. That is still coming. They've even got people cast in some of the roles. But what's funny is they haven't made any official announcements at the Fandome for that stuff. So it's definitely been announced. I mean, the actors who were in the show, there are 2 or 3 actors that have come out and talked about being not filmed, but cast in the Green Lantern Corps series. Let's hope David Zaslav has comic book people lined up. Yeah, he didn't talk about, he met with 50 50 industry insiders a couple of weeks ago to interview and get the best people in place. Nobody is talking about who those 50 people were. And as far as Zack Snyder goes, I will tell you guys right now, Zack Snyder is very quiet right now. He was like that before the Snyder Cut was announced as well. And he specifically came out and said in an interview that Warner Brothers has not reached out to him at all in regards to the Zack Snyder Justice League cut that was released. And there's a reason for that, because he wouldn't be talking with Warner Brothers. He would be talking with Discovery at this stage. Discovery is going to be in charge. So he has had no discussions with Warner Brothers, but he is probably now officially under contract with Discovery and won't be able to talk about anything going forward until something is announced officially. Abby says, good afternoon. Yeah, it's good evening for us, but good afternoon for you, wherever you are. Just sucks that they'll have to clean up the mess with Walter. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much of a mess to have to clean up, because honestly, I haven't hated a whole lot that's come out. I will tell you that I despised Birds of Prey. I thought Birds of Prey was a junk movie. And even the new Suicide Squad movie, I did not really like that movie much at all either. But everything else I've actually been happy with. I really liked Shazam. I really liked the first Aquaman movie. I thought Aquaman was really good for the character and was really well done. So I'm glad James Wan is back to do the sequel. I just hope they don't go super silly with it. And the way he made it sound yesterday was they're going to be, he said it did seem to be more adult-oriented, and I hope that he keeps true to his word. Ah, you're in India. Very nice. 6 a.m. Yeah, we're 12 months apart at 6 p.m. here. Yeah, the Suicide Squad, to me, I didn't like how they went out of their way to kill all the other characters that they had built up with the first film. Like, they went out of their way by the time the movie ended. The only ones still alive was Harley Quinn, basically. Everyone else had been killed. I liked Watchmen quite a bit. I did. And I still have hopes that we're going to see, what's his name, back as Bruce's father. All I see him as is Negan now. Negan on The Walking Dead. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this stream. This is the first time I've ever done a stream. I do appreciate... I can't speak Portuguese. The only thing I can speak is English. Yeah, for people who don't know, I'm actually a voice actor. That's what I do for a living. But I can't speak any other languages, unfortunately. All right, we're going to wrap up this live stream, but I may meet I'm going to try to pick out a time every Sunday where I can meet with everybody and do this again. I do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's chimed in and joined. I will come on next week. I can't guarantee a time, but I will tell you that I will put out a notification ahead of time that I will be doing a live stream, so people have at least an hour's notice before I go live. I was just trying to see if I could even go live this week with the settings that I have. All right, you guys have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you guys on the next update that I do. If you haven't seen the newest video, I did just post a video a couple of hours ago. It talks about my overall feelings on the DC Fandome from this last week. All right, you guys all take care.